This is of Malice and Mirth.
Welcome to episode 11.
Hello.
Hello!
Welcome to episode 11
Of Malice and Mirth.
I just can't get over our laughs at the end of that.
It still brings me so much joy.
It does.
And I hope it brings y'all joy, because...
Right? I hope you got at least a little chuckle at our laughs. Anyways... We were, that was exciting. We were looking at our analytics.
And we saw some really cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
So I saw we have some peeps in Denmark.
Yep.
Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some Canadians in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have people on the eastern seaboard,
Mm-hmm.
southeast-ish, northeast, and then Midwest. And then one in the southwest, right?
Yes.
I got them all?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so. But yeah, so we wanted to thank y'all for listening.
Yes. Thank y'all for sharing the love, listening to us. We just want to bring everybody some happiness, man.
Was that a fruit fly that you just swatted away?
Yeah.
Yeah, my plants have developed the little gnats.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And so I have to get those sticky things again and put them in. Yeah. Yeah. It's been fun.
Living in the South, man.
Yeah. Oh, my plants are hating it down here. I'm just saying. Anyways, today we have Mena, kind of give the synopsis of yours.
Of mine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today we are going to look at the evolution of the summoning games throughout time and like how they're similar, different, kind of like how we did the folklore to urban legend to creepypasta.
Yeah.
It's going to be that same format, but instead of like the history of it or like explaining what it is, it's going to be more game focused.
Yep. Perfect. And then I am doing the history and everything on Ouija boards.
Ooh, spooky.
Ouija, whatever, however which way you want to say it. It will probably come out both ways from my mouth. But yeah, so I'm doing that. And then I have a 2-part, but they're not super long, so I'm going to read them all together. Stories about someone's Ouija experience. And I can't remember. I'll have to look and see if it's a true experience or...
I think it is.
I think it is. But yeah, and then lastly, we have a Reddit story from Morbid Sales Architect that Mena will read.
Woo woo!
So yeah, we should just jump into it.
We gonna get it?
Get it good.
Okay. All right. So today we are talking about the invitation.
The invitation. Well, not inventation. What is wrong with me?
Well, the invitation.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So we're going to look at the evolution of that. You see, humans have always had a complicated relationship with the unknown. We're terrified of it, yet we can't stop ourselves from leaving the porch light on and the door unlocked, spiritually speaking.
Oh, okay.
So today we're going to trace the lineage of the scary game. We're going from 18th century dinner table to the 20th century bathroom mirror, into the shadows of a midnight hallway, and finally into the modern elevator.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So wait, when you were a kid, did you ever feel like you were being watched while you were alone?
Dude, all the time. Especially now. As an adult, I feel that all the fucking time.
All the time?
Yeah. Like, well, maybe not. Not like right now. but like, generally speaking, when I'm alone,
Yeah.
I tend to get that feeling, yeah.
It's kind of, sometimes it's ooey.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the itch. And for centuries, we've used rituals to scratch it. But as we'll see today, sometimes when you invite something in, it doesn't just visit, it stays.
No.
Okay, so we're going to start in the 1700s, deep in the British Isles and later the Appalachian Mountains. This is the Dumb Supper. Now, it's important to note that the name isn't an insult. Back then, dumb simply meant mute. It was a silent supper, and when you look at the history, it was anything but foolish. Imagine a world where you have zero agency over your future. So your entire life depended on who you married.
Ugh.
And that desperation created a very specific kind of magic. The dumb supper wasn't a party, it was a love divination, performed on liminal nights like Halloween or St. Agnes Eve, where the veil is supposedly like real thin, right? So to understand the dumb supper, you have to understand the law of reversal. In folk magic, the belief is that spirits can't just walk into a normal room. Our world is too orderly for them. So to see the dead, you have to unmake the world of the living. You have to create a vacuum of reality that they're forced to fill.
Okay.
Okay. So it begins with the silence. From the second you start your prep, which is around 11 p.m., until the sun comes up, you are effectively dead to the world of speech.
Nope. I'm out.
I couldn't.
No.
Like, I don't even like to do, like, be in a car with someone else or even by myself and it, like, not
In
talk.
silence.
Yeah, like, I like to talk to someone on the phone or...
Like, what if you're preparing your meal and you cut yourself? You're not allowed to scream fuck?
No.
Well, I'm out.
Yeah, because, like, supposedly, if you cough or even sigh too loudly at the heat of the stove, you have re-anchored yourself to the living and the charm is broken. So, like,
Okay.
you've started in silence, and if you, for some reason, go...
Yeah, no.
It's done. You have to completely start over another like thinly veiled night.
That's another thing I do. I sigh a lot.
Same, girl.
Like my daughter will come up and ask me, "Mom, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing. Why?" And she's like, "You just sighed like you were upset." And I'm like, "No, I was just breathing." Like,
I never really noticed how much I did it until my son started doing it. Like he'll just like sigh, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, mommy." And I'm like,
I'm just breathing.
and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then he'll do the same thing. Like he'll come up to me and be like, "Mommy, are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah, like if I'm working on a puzzle or something.
Yeah, and we don't even notice. So we would have fucked up this ritual from the get-go.
Never would have even been able to finish it.
Nope.
Like 30 minutes in. Done.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the story. Okay. But the silence was just the backdrop for the backward walk. Imagine this. You're trying to chop vegetables while walking entirely backwards. Like, could you, like, imagine going from, like, the stove and then thinking, like, oh, I need to put the potatoes in, but you have to walk backwards to the counter.
Can you, like, turn around to put them in, or do you have to do that behind your back?
I would assume you'd have to do everything backwards.
Yeah. No.
I'm already clumsy.
I was going to say, that's dangerous.
Literally, you're looking over your shoulder the whole time, effectively turning your back on the world of the living.
Okay, I mean, it makes sense.
So by moving against the flow of the living, you're stepping closer to the flow of the dead.
Okay.
Okay. So then comes the setting. You're setting a table for two, but every placement is a mirror image. You're putting the silverware on the wrong side. You serve the food with your left hand because, side note, I think we talked about it in episode like 2 or 3, where it's like the left side is like supposedly sinister, like back in the day.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's effectively like what they're getting at. So you're telling the universe that this meal isn't for this world.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So finally you have the invitation. Even in the dead of winter, you have to leave your front and back doors wide open.
You'd be done.
Yeah. I couldn't. So in Appalachian folklore, a closed door is a seal. By opening both, you're creating a spiritual draft.
Yeah, like a walkthrough.
Yeah, pretty much. So you're literally inviting the night to blow right through the heart of your home.
Okay.
Okay. So picture this. It's January in a drafty cabin. The doors are wide open. The fire is dying because you can't make a sound to stoke it.
Oh, yeah. No. No.
And you're just sitting there in total oppressive silence, staring at an empty chair.
That's dedication.
I'm telling you, because at the stroke of midnight, the legend says that the guests arrive.
Oh.
So it's supposed to be a man's fetch, an astral double projected across time.
Okay.
So if the ritual worked, this shadow of a man would walk in, sit down across from you. There were some like stories where like the man would leave like a button or like a pocket knife or something. So this way, when you saw them in the real world, you knew that that was your beau. Like that was the person that came to visit you.
You just go around matching buttons to people's jackets.
So while you have that, others believe that if you pulled a man's fetch across the veil like that, you're tearing a piece of his soul away. He'd never truly be the same person again. But not every woman saw a husband.
Oh.
Okay. There are accounts of
some saw a wife.
I mean, you never know. So there are accounts of women watching the door only to see a coffin float into the room and settle in the empty chair. So that was a definitive death sentence. It meant that you wouldn't live to see out the year and then see who you were supposed to have married. So that's kind of like how that, I say game, but it's more of a ritual back then. Does that make sense?
I thought for some reason, I thought when you said the coffin settled, not that it was a death omen to her, but that it was saying that her soulmate was going to die.
No, it's to her.
Oh,
so
okay.
she's not going to be able to live out the year.
Gotcha.
So that's why you see the coffin instead of her man.
Yeah.
Who she's supposed to marry. That's what they were searching for back then.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, that's it for that one.
Interesting.
So, in the 1700s, we were the hosts. We opened the front doors and waited for the guests to cross our threshold. But as we moved into the 20th century, we stopped looking for a companion at the table and we closed the front door and turned inward. And we began looking for a prisoner.
Oh, okay.
We moved from the open threshold and into the most private, vulnerable room in the modern home, the bathroom. We traded the farmhouse door for a silver-backed glass. There is a reason people cover mirrors the moment someone dies. Mirrors aren't just glass, they're soul catchers.
Oh, okay.
And portals.
Portals, yeah,
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So historically, people believe that mirrors held a piece of your actual soul. If the glass shattered, you shattered. In these games, the rules are the only thing keeping our door from swinging both ways. And when people play these games, they usually mess up the most important part, which is, what do you think?
Oh, the goodbye, probably.
Before you even get to that part.
Oh. The steps? I don't know.
The atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the atmosphere for this is the light. So you can't use a flashlight or a phone. It has to be a flame.
Okay.
Because a candle is a living light. It breathes, it flickers, and it acts almost like a signal fire for the sightless.
Ah, okay.
So if a candle goes out before you're finished, that's the worst case scenario because it means something or somebody reached out and took the breath from the room.
Oh.
That's creepy, right?
Yeah.
So then you have the chant. You stand before the glass, candle in hand, and you begin to call her name. But you aren't just standing still. To do this correctly, which I never knew this, you're supposed to be in constant motion, spinning in place.
Oh.
Because do you know what game we're playing?
I was going to say, you haven't said what game we're playing yet, but
So
I think I know.
So you're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
The lights are
I'm
on.
going with, I can't think of the name now. Bloody Mary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That is what we're talking about.
All right.
So when you played this game, not saying that you did. I mean, I think you did. Okay.
Yes.
What were the rules? Because for me, part of the rules, I never knew you had to be like spinning in place.
around?
But there were multiple
No.
places that I read that you're supposed to be spinning.
Yeah, no, maybe that's why it didn't work for us. Because I didn't spin. You just had the black room and you said her name 3 times into the mirror.
Right.
And then something was supposed to happen. Like she was supposed to, I don't know, reach through and grab you or something. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
attack you or come up behind you or something.
Right.
But nothing ever happened. for
No,
me,
and
obviously.
that's why when I read this, I was like, "What?" Because apparently it's supposed to be like a rhythmic rotation designed to disorientate your inner ear and blur your vision.
Okay.
Which would make sense, right? So you're trying to make your physical body as unstable as the image in the glass. But who are you actually inviting?
Who knows?
So you're going to tap into a folkloric chimera.
A chimera? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So because we have 3 different women throughout history that is thought to be who we're inviting, right? So you have the Queen, Mary the First. Desperate for an heir, she suffered from phantom pregnancies. Oh. So she died feeling cursed and betrayed by her own body. Some people believe that when people chant her name, they're mocking her loss, and that's why she supposedly comes for your eyes. So see, I never
get it, bitch. I get it.
Yeah. I never knew, like, growing up, like, when we heard these games, like, where these actually stem from. Mm-hmm. And it makes me really sad.
Yeah, because she has every right to be pissed off if you're mocking her.
I mean, the next one I'm not really sad about, though.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because it's the Countess. Or Elizabeth Bathory.
Oh, yeah.
So you see why I said that?
Yeah.
So
But her name's not Mary.
I know, but I think it's like back in the olden
times.
I think back in the olden times though, like nicknames.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So, she is the serial killer who bathed in the blood of 600 girls to stay young. Mm-hmm. She spent her final years immured or bricked up into total darkness with no reflection to look at.
Have you seen the American Horror Story one on that? Oh my god.
Okay, Kathy Bates.
I know. It's intense. It's good.
Yeah, she did a really good job. Well, I mean, she always does a good job.
Yeah, she does.
But yeah. So apparently the Countess reaches out because she's still looking for the youth that she stole.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Don't feel bad for that one.
Yeah, don't like that one. So, and then third, you have the witch, Mary Worth. American folklore says that she was forced to look into a mirror as she was disfigured or bound to the silver backing of the mirror. The mirror became her cage. Oh. So, because witchcraft or witchy things back then was severely frowned upon, and they had accused her of that, and that was her punishment. So she is bound in her cage, according to the lore.
Okay.
So most people think you just say the name 3 times. Right?
Yeah.
That's a trap.
Oh.
Yeah. So in the ritualistic versions, 3 times is just a greeting. Oh. Saying it 13 times is the invitation to stay.
Oh, so that's why it never worked for us. Right. We were just like, hey, what's up?
Everybody always said just 3 times.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, hey, girl, how you doing?
Maybe the reason they said only do it 3 times is because when you do it 13 times, it's that fucking scary. So they're like, let's just tell people to only do 3 times.
Right?
Steer them awry.
Well, thank you to whoever did that.
Right?
All right. So next comes the fade. Because your pupils are dilated and your brain struggles with the low light, a phenomenon called the Caputo effect happens. Your own features will start to dissolve, and people report seeing their face turn into blackened skulls or smelling like fresh blood, like because all your senses are like all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? So some have even walked out with 3 distinct claw marks down their skin. So at this point, you've stopped being a spectator and you've become a participant. Mm-hmm. Right? So how are we supposed to end the game?
I don't know, but I hope you tell me.
I had a really, really hard time like figuring out where and how you're supposed to do it. Most people think once you turn the lights back on, the game is over. But in ritualistic magic, how you end it is just as important as how you start it. You have to break the connection. To do it right, you have to formally dismiss the entity, tell her to return to the glass, and then blow out the candle.
Okay.
Okay, so in that split second of total darkness, you are cutting the energy source and sealing the mirror. And finally, you're supposed to just like splash your face with like cold water to ground yourself back to our world.
Okay, yeah.
That was never in the instructions.
No, it was not.
So, yeah.
So now you know.
Now you know how to do that. Because I didn't. Now that we've ventured into the bathroom, there was a barrier, right? So you had the glass to keep her in and you out. Uh-huh. You were the witness. You were safe. But by the 2010s, we grew bored of the mirror's safety. We didn't want to watch a prisoner anymore. We wanted to see if we could survive in the same room as the dark. I know, I did it.
Idea.
I've never heard of this game, so be ready.
Okay.
We stepped out of the bathroom and back into the hallway, but this time we weren't the ones in control. This is the Midnight Man.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Already don't like.
So this is where the game stops being a dare and starts becoming a hunt. Most people found this on the internet in the early 2010s, but the lore suggests it's an ancient ritualistic punishment used by pagan communities to force criminals to be hunted by an entity.
Oh.
Now, and I say that with like trying to be respectful because I don't know what everybody's religion is. Like, I'm not saying anything like that.
Right.
I'm just saying what the research says.
Yeah. Well, there's mistakes in every religion over time.
So I'm just putting that out there. So in order to play this game, there's a buy-in that is required. It's a contract of blood.
Okay.
Okay. So you take a piece of paper and you write your full name on it, which, by the way, people should not be giving out their full names like that. Okay. That's how the Fae get you.
Yeah.
Just saying. But anyway, back to the game. So you're supposed to put your full name on it and place a drop of your own blood onto the paper. So by doing this, you're offering a part of your life force to fuel the entity's presence.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ew.
You're
Okay.
telling him, I am here and I am yours.
No. Don't like it.
Yeah, same. I'm like, absolutely not. So you're supposed to place the paper in the front of a closed wooden door in total darkness. Then comes the knock. You have to knock exactly 22 times, with the final knock landing exactly at the stroke of midnight.
Well, that's difficult.
Yeah, I could never. I'm like, first off, my rhythm would be off. And then, like, what if I'm like 1 second shy or, you know?
Right? Because even if you're watching on a timer, like, I guess you can kind of get the rhythm down of doing it like once a second. But that means that you have to start it at exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has to be 22 knocks, the last one at midnight.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you have to open the door, blow out your candle, and then close it.
Okay.
Okay. And that means you've just invited the Midnight Man to cross the threshold.
Ugh. Okay.
Ugh. So if you mess up the timing, if that 20-second knock happens at 12:01, you've still opened the door, but you haven't set the parameters for the game.
Oh, so it's like his loophole. So he's like, haha, you didn't do it at the right time. So now I get to do whatever I want because I don't have to follow my end of things.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So you've invited the predator into your home without any protection from the ritual structure. That's when things go off the rail, which makes me really like nervous. I don't know. But if you do it right, the hunt begins from 12:01 to 3:33 in the morning. Your only goal is to stay moving. You cannot turn on any lights, and you have officially moved from being a witness to being the prey.
Ooh.
So you have to stay super, like, hyper aware of the signs, like a bone chilling, like, drop in temperature, like, is already creepy to begin with, but, you know, that means he's within reach. A guttural whisper against your ear. Ew.
No.
And then there's the shadow. A tall figure, super thin and dark, like darker than the darkness around you because there's no lights on. You have your candle, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And if you see him, you have to move, like, immediately. You just have to get away.
Well, that's not a problem because, of course, I will get away from that.
So once you have those, what do you think is the absolute worst case scenario?
No, let's see. Let me think of what the worst way to die is, and that's my answer.
So if you're in the total dark and you have a candle, it's the only source of light.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario is he chops me into a million little pieces and feeds it to my dogs.
I mean, well, yeah. But what happens if the light goes out?
Then I run and hopefully he can't find me.
Okay.
I don't know.
So if the candle does go out, and that means he's in reach, right? You have exactly 10 seconds to relight your candle.
Ooh,
so imagine that pressure. Like, you're in total darkness, knowing something is, like, right there.
Mm-hmm.
What if you can't light it?
Yeah, I don't know. What?
So if you can't light it, what you're supposed to do is immediately drop to the floor, and you're supposed to like draw a circle in salt, right? And surround yourself in a circle.
Okay.
And you have to stay in your circle until 3:33 a.m.
Well, that's what I would do from the get-go. I'd be like, invite him in and then run into, get my salt and do a circle immediately and sit and be like, neener, neener, neener.
I mean, I would hope you're in a real comfortable position, though, because, like, think
Yeah,
about
that is a long time.
That's a long time. So, what happens if you break the ring?
He gets in.
The legend says he'll induce a permanent hallucination of your greatest fear. He doesn't kill you.
That might be worse.
Yeah, he breaks your mind so that you never truly leave the hunt.
Oh. Why would you play that game?
I don't know. I'd never heard of that game until I started doing this, and I was like, ooh, I'm glad I never heard that game. That's scary.
That is scary.
Ugh. So that's that game.
Okay.
So in the hallway, we learned what it felt like to be hunted in our own homes. We traded our safety for the adrenaline of the chase. But as we moved into present day, the rituals have evolved again. We aren't satisfied with spirits coming to us anymore. We move from being the witness to the prey, and now we're going to be a traveler. We've decided to leave our world behind entirely and go to theirs.
Okay, yeah.
So, this game is the elevator game. Have you heard of the elevator game? Okay. So,
I haven't done it, but I've heard of it.
I haven't done it. I've heard of it. Also, for our true crime peeps out there, this is actually like a tie to the Hotel Cecil.
I was just going to say, yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
Was people were saying that she was playing the elevator game.
Right. So that's what this is, basically. So in modern folklore, in the purest form, unlike other rituals, which have roots in like old country kitchens, this is a creepypasta ritual.
Okay.
It represents a major shift. It doesn't require a haunted house. It just requires a machine. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is about you going to them. Elevators are liminal spaces, like places that are neither here nor there. They are a perfect weak point in reality. And the rules are rigid. You must be in a building at least 10 stories high, and you must be alone.
Okay.
Okay. So you're supposed to enter on the first floor and use the buttons like a cheat code for the building's soul.
Okay.
So you're supposed to push 4, 2, 6, 2, 10.
4, 2, 6, 2, 10. Got it.
When you reach that 10th floor, you stay inside and press 5.
Okay.
Okay. On the 5th floor, the doors will open and a woman will enter the elevator.
Okay.
And the rules are very, very clear. You do not look at her. You do not speak to her because she's not human.
Okay.
So she is a passenger from the place you're trying to go. If you acknowledge her, the legend says she claims you. You become part of the building's history and you will never leave.
Ooh, I don't like that.
So once she's in there with you, you press a button for the first floor. And this is the moment of truth. If the elevator starts to go down, you've failed. But if the ritual is working, the elevator will start climbing to the 10th floor instead. And you'll feel the floor drop out from under you as the machine overrides its own programming.
Okay.
Okay. So when the door opens on the 10th floor, you aren't in the building you were in before. You've entered the other world. It looks like a hallway but the lights are dead, the electronics are useless, and the sky is a deep, bruised purple with a glowing red cross in the distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's how you win that game. So you make it to the other place.
Then how do you get back?
So, okay. So in the Dumb Supper, you were the host.
Uh-huh.
In Bloody Mary, you were a witness. In the Midnight Man, you were the prey. But here you're the intruder. You've broken into the space that wasn't designed for the living, and you're an anomaly in their world. To get back, you have to perform the entire sequence again. But the rules say the return trip is much harder. The elevator will feel heavier. The woman might be standing there waiting for you to slip up. And if you lose your place in the sequence, you might find that the first floor doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, Okay.
Creepy, right? So when you look at these 4 games side by side, you see a map of how we've changed. We've gone from inviting them into our kitchen to venturing into their darkness. So we've spent 3 centuries knocking on the door, and now we finally figured out how to walk through it. The question is, now that you've heard how to invite them in, how to find them in the mirror, or how to follow them into their world, do you still remember how to come back? Because the rules are very good at telling you how to start the game, but they're notoriously quiet about how to make them truly end.
Yeah.
So I really had only ever heard of Bloody Mary. These other games or rituals or however you want to call them,
Right.
creep me out.
Yeah. I know. They're...
Did you like my journey?
I did like your journey. That was very good. Huh.
Which one was your favorite?
Oh, good question. Okay, so favorite is a hard word for this.
Okay.
But Midnight Man is probably the scariest to me, so that might be my favorite.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't even imagine that as like a horror movie.
Ooh, that would make such a good horror movie. Oh my God, I'd eat that shit up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I kind of lean that way too, though.
Yeah.
Like, I would never do it.
No.
Absolutely not.
Hard pass.
But to see it in a movie setting, I think would be awesome.
Yeah, it really would. Someone get on that right now. I don't have time.
Yeah, I don't have time to do that either. But can you just put like a Malice and Mirth in the credits? Like,
Right?
we just want our name on there.
That was good. All right. Well, I'm going to do my Ouija story now.
Which I'm just
story.
I'm gonna preface this with absolutely not. I will never do a Ouija board.
I will get you to do it one day.
Nope.
When we're 96 years old.
in our little wheelchairs.
With our little wheelchairs and our walkers. And we'll have to have the orderlies, because we'll be at the same place, of course. So we have to have the orderlies in on it so that they can help us if anything goes awry, because they got younger bodies.
Yeah,
you know.
True. Take them instead. No, I'm just kidding.
Take them instead. All right, let's start this. So, welcome to the circle.
Oh.
Dim the lights, find a comfortable seat, and let's talk about the board.
Ooh, okay.
Most people think of the Ouija board as a relic of the Victorian era or a dusty prop from a 1970s horror flick, but its roots are buried in a very real human obsession, the need to talk to the dead. In the mid-1800s, spiritualism was a fever sweeping across America. People were tired of the silent grave. They wanted answers. Before the board was a polished product in a cardboard box, the communication was physical, violent, and loud. If you wanted to reach the other side, you engaged in table tipping or table turning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A group of people would gather around a heavy wooden pedestal table, placing their hands flat on the surface.
Okay.
They would sit in total silence, sometimes for hours, until the wood began to groan. The table would vibrate, then tilt on 2 legs, and eventually began to rap against the floorboards. 1 knock was yes, 2 was no.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they used to do. If you wanted a name, you would recite the alphabet, and the table would thud when you hit the correct letter.
You know what? This kind of like ties to the dumb supper though, because
It
like
does.
you have to be silent.
No, it doesn't say you have to be silent. Does it? Oh, yes, it does say you have to be silent. Oh, yeah. I totally just went over that
That's
part.
creepy.
But yeah, it was a grueling process. Like entire nights were spent just trying to get a spirit to spell out a single sentence.
Could you imagine if the spirit was like Bartholomew?
Oh my God.
I don't know why that name had like popped into my mind, but I'm like, that would be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he has to say the whole sentence after telling you his name still.
Oh.
But the physical toll was immense. Participants reported their hands cramping and the furniture sometimes bucking or spinning wildly across the room, leaving scuff marks and broken china in its wake.
Smut marks.
Smut marks. This was the raw, unrefined energy that the commercial board sought to harness and domesticate.
Okay.
The market demanded efficiency. So in 1890, a businessman named Charles Kennard and an attorney named Elijah Bond answered that call. They didn't claim to be mystics, they were patent seekers. They created a wooden board printed with the alphabet, the numbers 0 through 9, and the words yes, no, and goodbye. Thank God they put that goodbye. When the Ouija, it says the Ouija, the wonderful talking board, finally hit the shelves of toy and novelty shops in 1891, it wasn't marketed as a tool for the occult. It was a parlor game. The original advertisements featured a man and a woman sitting close together, the board resting on their knees, looking deep into each other's eyes. It was seen as like a social lubricant, a way for young Victorian couples to touch hands and share secrets under the guise of spiritual intervention.
Okay.
The patent didn't mention demons or spirits. It focused on the quote-unquote mysterious movements and the entertainment value of the device. It was sold alongside checkers and playing cards.
Okay.
It was only during the horrors of World War I, when a generation of grieving families sought a way to speak to their fallen sons, that the board shifted from a flirtatious parlor trick to a serious tool for the bereaved. The line between game and gate blurred permanently during those years of mass mourning. The key was the planchette, a small heart-shaped piece of wood on casters with a window in the middle. The idea was simple. Two people sit across from each other, rest their fingertips lightly on the wood, and wait for the idiometer effect to take over. That's the scientific explanation of it. The idiometer effect is a psychological phenomenon where your body takes tiny, unconscious muscular movements based on your expectations.
Oh, okay.
So you aren't trying to move it, but your brain is already leaning towards an answer and your hands just follow.
So it's just like your subconscious.
Yes.
Okay.
So they literally think that your body's just making tiny movements without your knowledge, basically. But for those sitting in a dark room in 1891, it wasn't muscle spasms, it was a miracle. Legend says the board even named itself. When the creators asked what it wanted to be called, it spelled out Ouija. When they asked what that meant, the board simply replied, "Good luck."
Oh!
Yeah. So let's give it out to children.
That's scary.
To use the board with precision, you must understand the mechanics of the ritual. So now we're going to go over how to use it.
Okay.
The environment must be controlled. It is best to have 2 people, as the collective energy is thought to be more stable, but an odd number can sometimes create a more volatile, active session. You place the board on a flat surface, ideally a wooden table, to act as a natural conductor.
Okay.
The planchette is placed in the center. I just said that like you.
I know.
Both participants.
Why'd you have to do your head like that?
I don't know. But both participants rest the tips of their index and middle fingers on the edges of the planchette, okay? You do not press down. The pressure should be no more than the weight of a coin.
Okay.
You begin by moving the planchette in a slow clockwise circle to warm up the board and signal that the session has begun. You must state clearly, "We only welcome spirits of light and those who mean us no harm." You gotta say that.
Okay.
Now, the questioning also must be methodical. Start with simple yes or no questions to establish a connection. Never ask for a sign of the spirit's presence in the physical world, such as blowing out a candle or knocking on a wall, because this is considered an invitation for the entity to draw energy from your environment to manifest physically, which can lead to a haunting or an attachment. Okay?
Yeah, like the Midnight Man.
Yeah. If the planchette begins to move, follow it loosely. Do not fight the movement, but do not lead it. If it moves to the 4 corners of the board, it is attempting to mark the space, and you should end the session immediately.
Oh, I just got the chilly willies.
Yeah. You never play alone. That's the first mistake. You need a witness, someone to ground you in reality. You never play in a graveyard or a place where a violent death occurred. You don't go looking for trouble in its own backyard.
Of course not.
Oh. We're going to play in a graveyard.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, you already said we're going to play in a nursing home. I feel like...
That's true, but we can take them with us. We can be like, hey, we want to go on a little field trip.
I mean, I'm saying, never mind. I'm not even going to finish that line of thought.
But even if you follow the rules, sometimes something catches your scent.
Oh.
Yeah. If you spend enough time in the world of paranormal forums and late night research, one name starts appearing with terrifying frequency. Do you know the name?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Zozo. Have you heard of that one?
I feel like maybe, but tell me anyway.
Okay. So while the name has appeared in literature as far back as 1818 French Dictionary on Demons,
absolutely not.
Modern accounts of Zozo follow a chillingly consistent pattern. He is a predator of the board. He doesn't usually show up immediately. He's patient. The session starts normally. Maybe you're talking to a deceased relative or a friendly spirit named Jessica.
Okay.
But then the tone shifts. Encounters often begin with the planchette becoming extremely fast, moving with a strength that feels like a magnetic pull. When asked for a name, it'll slide to Z, then O, then Z, then O.
Oh, so he plays a long game.
He does. The energy in the room usually drops when he arrives. People report a sudden, overwhelming sense of dread, a physical weight on their chest, or the smell of rotten eggs, which we know is sulfur.
Yeah.
He is a trickster, a parasite that feeds on the attention of those who play. He is known to be a mimic. He may start the conversation pretending to be a deceased relative or a child to gain your trust with personal details, only to drop the mask once he has a firm grip on your attention. Some researchers link him to an ancient Mesopotamian wind demon named Pazuzu, while others believe he is a tulpa, which is a thought form created and powered by the collective fear of thousands of people across the internet.
I don't like any of that.
Yeah. Those who have encountered Zozo describe a specific sequence of events. First, the planchette will move in a repetitive figure 8, which is thought to be a way for the entity to charge itself or create a portal. Then the answers become hostile or nonsensical. He often uses mirroring, which is when you ask a question, he'll repeat it back to you.
Oh.
The physical symptoms are the most precise indicators: the sudden drop in the room temperature, the metallic taste in the mouth, and the feeling of intense directed hatred. Some witnesses have reported the planchette flying off the table or seeing dark, shadow-like figures in the periphery of the room. He's not a spirit to be trifled with. He is a persistent force that, once acknowledged, is notoriously difficult to banish.
See, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. So we will not, if Zozo comes across the board, we will get out of there real fucking quick. Which, hopefully we do. So, we'll find out.
In our olden age, in our olden age, we're gonna be like spinning them wheels, drifting around the corner.
Yeah, running in a wheelchair.
Fast and Furious in this.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, once he makes his presence known, the board becomes erratic. It might start counting down from 10 or reciting the alphabet backward. That's not a word. Backwards. That is your signal. You don't wait for him to finish. To conclude a session, especially if it has turned dark, the goodbye is not a suggestion, it is a command. You must force the planchette to the bottom of the board to the word goodbye. You have to close the door. If you don't, you're leaving a porch light on for whatever was passing by. Some practitioners suggest a cleansing ritual afterward, sprinkling salt over the board or storing the planchette and the board in separate rooms so they cannot talk while you sleep. The precision of the closing is what separates a controlled experiment from an open invitation. The Ouija board is a mirror.
Okay.
Again, we're at mirrors. For some, it reflects the hidden corners of their own subconscious, pulling out truths that they weren't ready to admit.
Okay.
For others, it's a window into a place that was never meant to be peered into. The thin piece of fiberboard and the plastic don't have any power on their own. It's just a tool. But the power comes from the person holding it and the invitation they extend into the dark. You are dealing with a tool that has been used by millions for over a century. each person adding a layer of expectation and energy to the wood. You are never just playing a game. You are tapping into a century of collective belief. That's where the power comes from. So just remember, when you knock on a door, you don't always get to choose who answers it.
Ugh.
And that's what I have on Ouija boards.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there to whoever and all that are listening to this. We do not say, hey, go play these games.
Yeah, no. Entertainment purposes only.
Yes. We are not responsible for anything that may come from this.
And she's holding her hand up in the air like a fucking scout. Like, this is her pledge. I am not responsible for your idiocy, is what she said.
I did not say it that way.
No, you said it much nicer than that. But, okay, so now I will read you the stories from, so it is 2 parts, but it's both by location 8497. So thank you for letting us read your story. Back in grade 8 and 9, I was obsessed with the paranormal. I had a girlfriend at the time who was really into Wicca, and she was the one who got me into all this shit. Before long, we were playing with a Ouija board every single day.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. After about a month of using it regularly, it started identifying itself the same way every time. We'd ask, who are we speaking with? And the reply was always, him.
Ooh.
At first, we weren't really scared. We were just kids. But him eventually turned hostile. The board started swearing and telling us to fuck off. I got weirdly angry about it one day and just flipped the board off the table mid-session.
Oh, no.
I stopped playing for a bit after that, but things didn't stop. A few weeks later, I was working the night shift at Walmart, stocking shelves. Out of nowhere, I heard a whisper, just my name. I thought I imagined it, but then it happened again, louder. I checked the aisle to see if someone was messing with me, but no one was there. When the third whisper came, it was loud enough that I actually yelled out, "Hello? Who the fuck is calling my name?" No response. About 40 seconds later, a coworker walked up to me. She looked shaken. She asked if I heard my name being called 3 times. When I said yeah, she told me she was a medium and that it was a sign that someone in my family was going to die.
Oh, no.
Oh, damn. I thought it was kind of weird for her to come up and, with full confidence, call yourself a medium, lol. I'm into the paranormal, but I reserve skepticism. So I tried to keep the conversation regular and started talking about my plans for the future. She interrupted me mid-sentence, looking right at me. Every time you talk about your future, I can hear something snickering, like something negative. It's attached to you. It's trying to ruin your plans. Oh. She had no idea about the board. I felt the blood drain from my face as I instantly connected that with him. I went home after my shift and got into bed, only to be woken up by the house phone. I heard my mom in the hall saying, "Oh no, that's terrible. I'm so sorry." Adrenaline surged through me. Before she even hung up, I was downstairs asking what happened. She told me someone in our family, someone I didn't really have a relationship with, had just died. I was shitting bricks, but the Walmart experience honestly made me way more intrigued. Even though it was freaky as hell, having it all confirmed like that just made me want to push it further. I invited my best friend and my girlfriend over to play in my parents' basement. This was the last time I played for several years. It was midday and no one was home, and we'd been playing for 20 minutes. Suddenly, the 3 of us started randomly smelling breakfast sausage frying.
Oh.
It was unmistakable and completely out of place. We asked the board if it was him, and it said yes. Oh.
He's playing the long game.
Yes. My parents came home later and made us supper. We paused to eat and then went right back to the basement to play more. We were really pushing it now, asking the board to prove it was there. We were asking it to touch us, and we were moving around the room trying to feel for gold spots. Eventually, my girlfriend and I agreed to take it a step further, and I asked the board if it could possess her. Oh. The planchette moved faster than I'd ever seen. Yes. Then it began a countdown. 3, 2, 1. The light bulb over our heads started to buzz, then flicker. Then it just went out. We were in complete darkness. I screamed at the top of my lungs and ran upstairs. As I got to the living room where my dad was watching TV, I saw the sky through the big window flash bright white. The transformer across the street had blown. I don't know how that shit works, but in my mind, the transformer blowing should be the cause of the lights going out. But the light bulb above us buzzed and died first, and then like 15 seconds after we were already upstairs, the transformer went. Oh, so it was before the transformer. Mm-hmm. My buddy was still downstairs swearing because he'd tried to run but slammed into a wall in the dark. Oh no. In the heightened scare of the moment and trying to explain the chaos to my parents, I kind of forgot about my girlfriend.
Oh no!
About 20 seconds later, she casually walked up the stairs. She looked like she had no idea why there was any commotion. There wasn't 1 ounce of fear in her. It's a demon. She walked past me and, in a voice that was several octaves deeper than her own, she muttered something chilling right at me. I said, "What?" And she just looked at me and said, "What?" in her normal voice, acting like she hadn't said a word. Then she did the exact same thing to my buddy. I told her she needs to go home. She lived around the block, and she walked home. My buddy and I, who I'm still friends with today, pretty much slept with the lights on for a month, and I actually ran away from home that night because I was so freaked out.
Oh, that's not cool.
My parents told me later that it was just a coincidence. Wind blew a branch into it. I accepted that. However, around 10 years ago at a family function, it came up. They told me that they just said it was a coincidence to calm me down because there was no wind that night.
Oh.
And that's it for part 1. So let's go on to part 2. The return of him and the shadow figure.
Oh no. So he's playing the extremely long game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so other than a few other creepy experiences, this was the only other major one I had. A few years passed before I touched a board again. I was in high school and had a new girlfriend, Sam. I told her everything that happened in 8th grade. Instead of being freaked out, she and her sister were obsessed. They had to try it for themselves.
Oh.
Sam's parents were divorced, and she primarily stayed with her mom, so going to her dad's place was pretty rare for me. He lived out in the country and was well off with a big house on a lot of property. It was a treat to go there because I'd get to drive an Argo around. The layout was huge. To get to the basement rec room, you had to walk down from the main floor, go through a few areas, and then down a long hallway. You know that feeling when you're leaving an area, you hit the light switch, and you just have to sprint because you feel like there's someone watching you?
Yeah.
Yes, I do know that feeling. That was this hallway for them. Whenever they had to turn the lights off to leave, they would hit the switch and run. It was their idea to set up in the rec room right next to it. They wanted to see if whatever they felt in the dark would come through the Ouija board.
No.
The girls wanted to go all out, so we had the main lights off and just a few tea light candles burning. I started off asking if anyone was there. At first, the planchette was moving painfully slow, but we kept playing, and as minutes turned into hours, it got faster and faster. Once it was moving at a reasonable pace, I remembered hearing that if you close your eyes, you couldn't get real words out of it. I suggested we test it. We closed our eyes, kept our hands on the planchette, and it spelled absolutely nothing. Maybe because it knows that it's not actually speaking to you then? I don't know. Anyways, we opened our eyes and laughed. The tension broke. We were having a good laugh at how fake it was. I sat back and started to say, "Yeah, okay, this is bullshit." Bang! The door leading to the hallway slammed shut.
Uh-oh.
It didn't drift. It was a violent slam like a teenager throwing a tantrum. The girl screamed for me to go look. I checked everything. No drafts, no open windows. It was winter and the house was sealed up. I ran to the main floor to see if someone was messing with us. It took a couple minutes just to get up there because the house was so big. But when I reached the living room, Sam's dad, his girlfriend, and their oldest sister were just watching TV. They hadn't moved. I would have heard anyone running away, or at least someone would have been winded. They were just confused when I asked if they'd been downstairs. I went back down and reported in. Instead of being terrified, the girls were more excited than scared.
Oh.
They immediately wanted to keep going. We sat back down and asked for signs of a presence, but got nothing. Then I said, "Whatever was here must be gone." Immediately, we heard distinct knocks coming from a room within the rec room. Anytime we doubted its presence, it would do something to grab our attention. We eventually just got tired and called it. A few weeks later, we tried again in the same spot. This time, there was no buildup. The second we touched the planchette, it was moving with a frantic, aggressive speed. It immediately reminded me of how him used to move back in 8th grade, that same erratic, violent energy. At one point, it slid right off the board onto the coffee table towards me until it hit the edge and fell into my lap.
Oh.
I put it back, but things got weird. Every time we asked for its name, we got a different one. It almost seemed like we were talking to multiple entities at once. One seemed positive, while the other felt negative. Then a thought entered my head. What if it's pretending to be good and bad to trick us? I asked it flat out, is this just one spirit pretending to be all the other entities? It slid to yes.
Ooh.
I instantly got goosebumps. I just sat there frozen. I looked at Sam, reminded her about the story from 8th grade, and said, I think this might be him. I looked back at the board and asked, are you him? The planchette shot straight to yes. I'm getting real Zozo vibes from this. We asked if it was bad or good. It spelled evil. We asked if it wanted us to leave, and it slid to yes. During pauses, we started seeing things move. Shadows would dart just out of the corner of our eyes, causing us to snap our heads and look.
No.
I asked the board what it wanted. It slowed way down, dragging deliberately over to K-I-L-L. It stayed hovering over the L, doing these little micro circles right on top of the letter, like it wanted to ensure we read it right. We asked, who in the room do you want killed? The planchette moved and spelled out Sam's sister's name.
No!
I said, fuck you. We forced the planchette down to goodbye, and I told them I was done. That was the last session we ever did there. By the summer, we were at a cottage my parents rented in Sauble Beach. It's now known as Saugeen because the indigenous people won back their land rights. Well, that's good. My relationship with Sam had pretty much run its course, and we were fighting all the time.
Oh.
The cottage was tiny. My parents had one room, and right across the hall was the room Sam and I shared. Our room had a ladder that led up to an attic loft with a heavy wooden hatch you pulled down or pulled shut with a rope. I was sleeping in that loft, and she was in the room below. We spent the night talking about the door slam at her dad's. Then we got into a stupid fight and went to bed pissed off. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to a whisper calling my name. I ignored it, figuring she was just lying in bed wanting to talk. Then the whisper came back clearer. I snapped back in a loud whisper towards the hatch. What the fuck do you want, Sam? Oh. Okay. Sam's voice called up from her bed. That wasn't me, but I heard it too. The goosebumps hit me instantly. I looked over to the hatch opening. Sticking up out of the hole was the shape of a head. It had long hair down to the shoulders. In the dark, the silhouette matched Sam perfectly.
Oh.
I yelled, Sam, get the fuck off my ladder. From the bed below, Sam's voice broke, bordering on a scream. That's not me. I see it too.
Oh.
I was staring at the head poking into the loft, and she was staring at the body standing on the ladder. We both scrambled to turn the lights on. We kept them on for the rest of the night. I remembered how the Walmart lady told me I had something negative attached. All I could think of was this shadow being him again doing tricks. I moved my pillow to the hatch opening and kept Sam in sight, where we both kept lights on till morning. No more Ouija after that one. The fact me and Sam both saw different parts of the same figure in real time was the limit. LOL. And that's it.
Oh, I got the chilly willies.
Dude, you gotta let us know if you have seen a spiritual advisor of any kind, because you need to get that shit off of you. Like, that is some Zozo shit.
Okay, I have a long sleeve and a jacket on, and I'm like sitting here like shivering because I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you gotta get that taken care of, man. Let me know if you ever got it taken care of.
We just want to know you're
us.
okay.
Yeah. And oh my God.
Well, thank you for sending that in and letting us read it.
Yes, thank you very much. That was intense. Okay, so you want to do your last story now?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so this is There's Something Wrong with Diana by Morbid Sales Architect.
Okay, and was this one real or
I
true or
I don't think
fiction?
I don't think so.
You think it was fiction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't think it's...
Starting out strong.
Yeah, so strong. Okay. I don't think this is happening because of anything I did or my family did. I didn't mess with anything I shouldn't have, didn't go looking for answers, didn't trespass, or open the wrong door. If there's a reason this started, I don't know what it is yet. That is what bothers me the most. This weekend, I visited my parents' house with my siblings. We're all grown up now. I can't believe I'm going to be 30 this year. My brother Ross is the oldest, my sister Sam is the middle child, and I'm the youngest. Which means I still get talked to like I'm 16 when I'm under my parents' roof. It was one of those rare weekends where everyone's schedule lined up. No big occasion, just family getting together. My dad ordered Chinese takeout. My mom cracked open a bottle of bourbon for Ross and me. We sat around the living room talking about childhood memories, people we haven't seen in years, the usual. At some point, Dad got up and went down the hall, then came back carrying a cardboard box that looked like it had survived a flood at some point. Found these last week, he said. Let's watch some tonight. Inside were old home videos, VHS tapes, mini DV cassettes, rubber bands dried out and snapped from age. Most of those were labeled in my dad's. Most of them were labeled with my dad's handwriting. Birthdays, holidays, school plays.
Aw, fun.
The stuff you don't think about until you're reminded it exists. Ross and Sam were eager. I enjoyed some of our home videos, but it was always a family joke that there were no videos of my childhood. Aww. Sure, there were photos, but nothing compared to Ross and Sam's high school graduation videos. We moved down to the basement, and my dad put a random video in. The footage was exactly what you'd expect. Nostalgic mid-90s tone, bad lighting, awkward zooms, Ross riding his bike while Sam tried to steal the camera's attention with whatever pointless 5-year-old activity she was doing. Random cuts to my mom beating me in my booster chair, then Sam opening Christmas presents and trying to look grateful. Me standing too close to the lens, blabbering, reaching for the tiny flip-out screen. It was fun. Comfortable. Cliche, but the kind of thing that makes you forget how fast time moves. Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
About halfway through one tape of 4th of July party, Sam laughed and pointed at the screen. Oh shit, she said. It's Miss England. The video froze for a second as my dad hit pause, and the image jittered. Way back near the edge of the frame, a woman stood near the fence line. Tan, curly brown hair, purple lipstick that looked almost black in the video. She wasn't moving.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, Mom said, leaning forward. That is Diana. I hadn't noticed her at first. Once I did, I couldn't stop looking. Diana England lived next door to us growing up. Nothing separated our houses besides her garden and a strip of overgrown grass. We sometimes played with her kids in the cul-de-sac, quiet kids, a little off, but nothing alarming. Her husband was a doctor, always working. I mostly remembered his car pulling in and out at odd hours. Creepy, Ross sang. That is creepy, Mom chuckled, taking a sip of her drink. Diana England was strange, even back then. Not dangerous, just slightly off in a way you can't describe as a kid. Mm-hmm. Her left eye always drifted downward. I know it's mean to say, but it was creepy. She loved gardening, always outside, always smiling and waving. She used to look healthier, sometimes heavier. But in the video, she was thinner than I remembered, her posture stiff. She was always out there, Dad said, shaking his head. I swear she knew our schedule better than we did.
Oh.
Why is she standing near the fence by the pool? Mom asked. Her house was on the opposite side.
Oh.
We probably invited her to the party, Sam offered. Hell no, Dad shouted, laughing. Never.
Poor Diana.
We all laughed more about how she used to talk your ear off if you got stuck at the mailbox. If you saw her walking the dog, you'd better turn around and go back inside. It's sad. Rebecca and Julie moved out at the same time. You never see them anymore, Ross said. She still has the boys, Dad quickly added. Eventually the tape ended. Mom yawned and said she was headed to bed. Sam followed. Ross stuck around longer to finish his drink and then went upstairs soon after. After everyone went to bed, the house got quiet. You notice sounds you usually ignore, the refrigerator humming, the clock ticking, wind brushing against the siding. I should have gone to bed too, but I was a night owl. I stayed on the floor, flipping through videos. Near the bottom of the box, I found one that didn't have a date, no holiday, just my name written neatly, Mitchell. I realized this could have been my high school graduation video. I remembered the day, the heat, the robe. My dad had basically filmed the entire day, but I couldn't picture the footage itself. That felt weird. I popped in the old DVD. It took longer than it should have. The picture wavered as the DVD player struggled to read the disc. The video wasn't that old, and I was feeling mildly irritated, like I was putting too much effort into something that didn't matter. I picked up the remote and pressed play, quickly turning down the volume in preparation for music or a loud ceremony crowd. Have you ever done that? Like where you're like, no, you don't want it to be loud. The screen went black. Then it flickered, just for a moment, and I thought I saw a garden. The footage stabilized for a second. The colors are distorted. It's another birthday. I recognize it immediately. Sam's 16th. Backyard pool party, big tent, folding tables, floaties scattered everywhere. Dad was filming all the chaos. Sam and her friends competed in the pool game. Then he panned to Ross mid-bite of a hot dog and Mom in the background asking if anyone needed anything. It all felt nostalgic. I'm 11, maybe 12 in this video. I'm about to go down the slide head first, belly facing, letting out some kind of Tarzan-like scream. Splash! The camera zooms out, capturing the entire pool. I'm trying to recognize the faces. There's Rachel, Anthony. The camera pans from one face to the next, zooming in on each person in the pool. Connor, Aunt Beth, Kaylee. My heart stopped for a second. Diana is in the pool. It happened so quickly in the blink of an eye, but I knew it was her. Diana's standing near the deep end, facing the camera with direct eye contact. Or at least one of her eyes. I grabbed the remote and tried to rewind. It wasn't working. Just made it fast forward instead. I let it play. I didn't want to miss anything. The camera jarred slightly. My dad must have set it down on one of the tables. The entire pool and everyone around it remained in frame. I looked closer at the TV. Amid the chaos, laughter, cannonballs, there she was, Diana in the pool. A chill slid down my spine, not because she was in the pool, not because she was staring at me through the screen, not because of that creepy smile, but because she was wearing the same clothes in the last video. Do people not see her? She blended in with the crowd, yet stood out so much. She was wearing casual clothes. This doesn't make any sense. The 4th of July party was dated 1999. Sam's 16th birthday party was in 2007. How could she look exactly the same 8 years later? I got the goosebumps as the camera stayed still. Diana still staring at me. I hoped my dad would pick it back up any second. I tried to look elsewhere, anyone else in the pool, but I couldn't. For some reason, she was the only one in focus. Perfectly clear, no blurs whatsoever. Gainer! 12-year-old me screamed out in the distance. Splash! I shook my head, cringing a little. My head bobbed up out of the water like a tiny fishing bobber far away. The camera started to zoom in towards me, slowly but unrelenting. I struggled to stand, toes barely touching the bottom as I made my way toward the shallow end. Then the camera froze, my small, pale face filling the TV. Out of nowhere, something hitting my face, dunking me under the water. The water churned around me, my tiny arms and legs thrashing above and below the surface. What the fuck? The camera zoomed out just a little. An arm came into view from the left, holding me down. Darker than my skin, skinny. The camera slowly moved away from my struggling body, following the person's arm. All the blood drained from my face. I don't remember this ever happening. Wait, is the video glitching? The camera is moving slowly, but it's been at least 10 seconds by now. This doesn't make sense. What is this? My chest tightens. I try to rationalize it, but can't. No matter how the camera moves, there's always more arm. The arm just keeps going. The splashing doesn't stop. The sound of the struggle continue, muffled and frantic. Somebody do something, I yell, not even thinking about my family asleep upstairs. And then I'm face to face with Diana on the TV, still smiling, still staring directly into the camera at me. Her left eye drifted downward, staring at my body beneath the water. I look away. I don't know why I don't turn the TV off. I don't know why I don't move at all. It feels like any movement might draw her attention away from the screen and into the room. The splashing stops. The struggling stops. I look back at the TV. Damn it. Her expression changes. Her face is still filling the frame, but the smile is gone. Her mouth slightly open. Her eyes are wider now. The camera begins to zoom out. Sound bleeds back in. Wet footsteps slapping against concrete. Rock music in the distance. Laughter back to normal. The frame settles. White again. Exactly where my dad left it. What? Where? My mouth is still open. My throat felt dry. I stared at the screen. There's no way. There I was, climbing out of the pool, running toward the grass, alive.
What?
Gainer! I yelled like nothing had happened. I caught my breath. Relief washed over me like a weight lifting off my chest. But Diana was still staring at the camera, back to her original smile. She hadn't moved. Except her arm. It stretched across the pool to the far side, unnaturally long, at least 12 feet. Like one of those floating ropes at a public pool. Do not cross. And nobody did. The video ended.
What?
Oh. That gave me so much anxiety.
Well, there's definitely something wrong with Diana.
Yes.
Titles for sure. Oh, man. That was good.
Thank you so much for letting us read that.
Yeah.
I hope you listening to me read it gave you as much anxiety as it gave me reading it.
You hope that on people. You're so nice.
In the nicest way possible.
She says lovingly. Well, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
If you have any stories for us,
Yes.
please send them our way. You can either you can either email us
at Malice and Mirth. I can't even say it now.
Yep.
Of maliceandmirth@gmail.com.
Yes, or direct message us at any of the socials. That's just at Malice and Mirth.
Yep, we're on
everything pretty much.
And we do get on Reddit a lot, so
yeah.
If you want to reach out to us that way,
yeah,
do it.
Do it. And we wanted to again thank you to all of our listeners all over the world.
Yes. Thanks
so exciting
for listening wherever you are.
Yes.
We love it.
We love you.
Yes. So much.
And I guess we'll let you go now. Yeah? Or do we have anything else?
No, that's all we got.
That's all we have.
For today.
It's only an hour and a half long. What will we do with ourselves? No, yeah, but...
Thanks for sticking around this long.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.